consumable. It's not cutting real well. And I'll put money on it. The consumables are worn out. Oh look. Great. That's broke again. I break that often. Sour nose comes because I drop this thing. Let's see. Are they worn out? No, not in the least bit. See how much better it works now. Last thing I did with this was cut up that L9000 frame. Let's see how it does now. That's a whole lot more manageable. Get this loaded up on $450 for scrap. Oh yeah, speaking of the 450, I'm selling the truck, so I got to get it in here and get my auxiliary fuel tank off, get my crap out of it, and get it ready to go. So let's move this stuff. Gonna bring it in next. Take that yellow cord over there, that's the block heater, because it was at the single digits last night. Current temperature is like 19 or something. That thing won't start until it's been plugged in for an hour. So, and the guy that wants the truck, he knows all about these issues. But anyways, let's get cleaned up and get it in here. That's better. That's cleaned up. Just sitting in the shade too, which definitely doesn't help us. That wind is ferocious. I don't know what the wind chill is right now. It said it was in the single digits, or I don't know if it's below or not, but it's pretty cold. But we gotta get all my crap off this. We're gonna load up some stuff, take it to scrap, and I'm gonna take that fuel tank out and put the system back to factory. Get this iceberg inside. Put the block heater on it for, I don't know, probably an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. And it fired up just fine. Well, as good as a Power Stroke does. Anyways, we'll let the iceberg melt off in here. I can't even use a parking brake, it's froze. And it always works. We'll just chalk the wheels. So, not only does this truck have the original owner's manual, but it has the original incomplete chassis upfit book. So, you know, there's all the different things in here as to where you upfit, where you tie into, what's acceptable, what isn't. It's a really cool book, and he'll never use it because, you know, he'll abuse this. He won't take care of it. But so we're gonna hang on to this book, and I'm taking out the factory Ford PTO RPM control because it'll never have a PTO, and we'll be able to use that on something else. This is kind of a cool truck in its own way because it's a, I believe it's a 2000 01. So it's an 01. It's got the ZF6 manual transmission, manual transfer case, four-wheel drive, of course, in an F450. Anyways, when we're taking this out, that's what I gotta do next.
You already got this thing out. What's that switch for?
I didn't put any new holes in the dash. I just put that switch bracket on with a diagnostic link.
What's the switch for?
That was for the selector valve for the fuel tank to go from one to the other.
Oh.
It was ran like this, and I fused into ignition power, and then if it was up, it was on the auxiliary tank. If it was down, it was on the main tank. I just need to take this loose here. Back through. I got to get it ground. I need a 10mm socket.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Favorite snap-on side cuts disappeared, and so did one of my green, what do they call them, Cyclops lights?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Those are my favorite lights. A friend of mine's a snap-on dealer, and he talked about how great the new snap-on light is, how much brighter it is than them cheapo Cyclops ones. And I told him, I said, I have the one I got from you, but I don't use it. I use that cheap Cyclops one you call it because I think it works better.
It does.
And he didn't really care for that, now did he?
Well, I mean,
but that's okay.
It's the truth. It
Just
ain't.
because Snap-on makes it doesn't mean it's the greatest.
Yeah, and it's not like he made the light. So.
There's things they do that are good, and there's things they do that somebody else does better. And if somebody else makes it better, I'm taking what somebody else makes. Okay, I think I'm done in here. We gotta pull the wire out from under the hood now. So I'm pulling this wire out. This is the actual control wire that works the selector valve. I've got it pretty much out now. Okay, it comes up here. This selector valve is basically interrupts the signal for the fuel level sensor and the power to move a plunger. You can see how we have 2 outs and 4 in. So, and we have a filter here with the water separator. All of the fuel went through this filter right here, because I ran it in such a way that it has to go through this before it gets to the engine. So we're gonna get a drain pan or something, or water bottle, and see how much water's coming out of here. Not seeing any water yet. I kept a spare filter in the truck so that if, you know, this got plugged up, you could change it out real quick. But this is a lot better filter, and letting it get here before it goes all the way up to the engine. I'm not seeing any water. At least it's not in the filter. Now that switch has been on the rear tank ever since we realized that something was wrong. Well, that fuel looks good. I don't see any problem with that at all. Now I'm gonna stink like diesel.
Oh, I hate that. It's so hard to get that smell out of your clothes. Oh well.
Yeah, there's no water in there. There's nothing wrong with that fuel. Good deal. Okay, you can see I mounted it on a plate here. I ran some all thread through the frame with spacers and had this piece of plate steel up against the frame. So all we have to do is basically unhook everything, and we can unbolt it from that side and just take it off. That's what we'll do next, but I'll need a paper towel. Okay. So this is the unit that I had underneath this. As you can see now, I had it set up here, but I had these little pieces of 1/4 by 1/4 or whatever it was that went into the frame. So the frame rail was right here and right here. So it held it from moving up and down and all that kind of stuff. And this is what was on the rear. I just interrupted the original factory lines, as you can see here, and you know, just ran into my stuff. But everything is off, and we're draining this tank now. So far we've drained out, I think, about 20 gallons of fuel. That is not. I don't know. That's 50 gallons. Right there. 50 gallons. Ruh-roh.
I'm gonna go get a couple more just in case.
Yeah, probably should.
It's still going.
Might be a little while longer. we're starting to load this thing up with scrap, and I'm not going until this is full. So.
We just have to cut this in a few different sections so it's easier for the scrapyard to handle. He rarely ever scraps truck frame, but this one has so many holes in it for bolts and stuff that it's kind of useless, so it needs to go.
Never straddle wherever you're cutting. If it flies up, that'll be a bad day, huh?
Yeah.
Not that it's ever happened. The downfall of rusty stuff, you got to take the passer too. And the oil dry that we're actually blowing flames on is soaked in diesel fuel.
I have a bucket of water ready and fire extinguishers just in case. Sure don't need that to worry about. Oh, is that what it is?
What he said, I hate cutting stuff like this, but whatever. I'm gonna take it all apart, but it's a lot of extra time.
Oh yeah, and the bolts and nuts are rusty. All right, that ought to do it. Almost all of it in one trip. Just have to come back and get that. we'll see if we can find anything else to add to this load. So we decided to take a couple pieces off of this that we wanted. It's going to lift a little crooked, but not too bad. Take a couple pieces off of it that we want, and then get rid of the rest of it. I think he's going to take the radiator and the shocks and some of the like brackets or whatever. I forget what he called them.
Cutters do not like rust. Gotta cut a hook now. Oh man, I can't see nothing. So these glass.
Well, I could do it.
I gotta lift the glass.
Okay.
That's alright.
He says that something exciting might happen, so let's see. That's exciting. Well, it's not too exciting to me, but hey, whatever floats your boat.
Uneventful is better than exciting.
Yeah, that's true.
We got two bolts on either side. This belly band here.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're there. I think those are probably 18 millimeters. They look like. Get them unbolted, and then that's last two pieces. We'll take this plastic off, and then we're going to go ahead and cut it right here, cut it right there, and that should be it. We're going to leave the rest of this because I still may need, like the radiator's good, the air charge cooler's good, the AC condenser, probably not any good. Neither is the cooler down below it. These things, you just never know what a guy might build one day and want that. If not, it'll go into the pile with the others and end up in, scrap pile one day. I don't know.
This one's off.
You are making a big mess. Somebody is. Scrap. Yeah, alright, we'll get that one last bolt. Well, that's kind of weird. That's got nothing to do with it, lady.
It's what?
That's got nothing to do with it. You just need a side cuts.
Oh.
It's just that air line is zip tied to it.
Oh,
okay. Okay, then we're gonna get this washer bottle out of here, and we're gonna whack the frame right there, and it's done. D-O-N-E, done. Adios, amigo.
so we added a few more things to the pile, and then this is another lift gate we had laying around that's in rough shape, so we're just getting rid of it too.
Hey, this might want a piano on me. I got a little bit more in the front. Maybe let the boom down a little bit so when it falls it's not too far from the ground.
Okay. That wasn't bad.
Let it down right away.
Okay.
Tell you what, it may not look like much of a load, but I can tell you by how much gap is in here, there's a fairly good load. I mean, it's all truck frame mostly and cut up, and then, you know, plate steel. But let's get this scrapyard and get rid of this stuff. So we are here. They're unloading with a magnet, so we don't have to. You have to be careful, because sometimes they'll pick up my gooseneck cover. A little piece of metal that covers where the hole would be, if there is one. But there isn't one on this truck, but this guy's pretty good. It's pretty gentle. He turns the magnet on far enough away that, oh, there it goes. Started to come up, went right back down. Very cool. He's just about done.
We decided to leave the leaf springs on it because it'll sit up better, and it's not really taking up much space. Well, I got everything else cleaned up. I just got to clean this area where that was.
Well, I'm back. The truck's in the shop now, and that is the last load of anything I'm gonna haul with this truck. And I gotta tell you, the reason I kept this thing around for so long is because it was good for hauling firewood, and it was good for hauling scrap into the scrapyard. Because just as I'm coming out, the guy's coming around a corner, and he's got, I'm sure you guys have seen these guys. They got 3 cars stacked on top of each other, and the only thing holding it's a bungee cord. He comes around there, and I'm looking, and I can see this leaning tower of catastrophe ready to fall. And that right there is why I don't mind having an old truck like this around, take to the scrapyard to get firewood. Because if it got all bent up and dented, I'm not nearly as upset, because those guys only have the utmost highest coverage and insurance, I'm sure. So, but anyways, we have more, so we'll just go get another one, get it ready to go, and use it as our beater truck. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you on the next one.